right, so on the previous episode that I was talking about, um, we talked about national championship game from Monday. We talk about Saturdays and Sundays AFC and NFC divisional round. The teams who advance to respective conference championship game this week. I will preview these games today. Then we'll talk NBA. I will talk some NBA from yesterday, and then we'll recap the coaches. So let's see what's coming down here today on this talk show. And we said, good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. This is JDB's Morning Cap. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday yesterday, but today is Wednesday. It is 8:02 a.m. I know how this week is the conference championship week. Both AFC and NFC. We will talk about that during the show. Also, we talk about head coaching changes. Like I said from yesterday, I love to revisit the controversial calls in the NFL. The other thing I didn't get to mention about that all week. The Rams and the Bears game on the Davante Adams play on the other end, this was a catch at the bottom, and then his knee was down. Even though the ball came out, they said the knee was down for progress. That's what Sean McDermott said. So the difference between the Cooks no catch led to McMillan's interception, and Davante Adams' catch, then the Bears looked like they had the ball, but his knee was down. That was the difference. So Sean McDermott made a better call than Carl Sheffers. We've been talking about the controversial calls around the NFL throughout the years. All right, let's get to we'll talk more NFL a little bit later. This one, let's start with the association. Let's start with the Lakers and the Nuggets. The game took place in Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Lakers were a desperate team. They had struggled down the stretch, but Luka Doncic carried his team really well. He recorded a near 40-point triple-double. He finished 38 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, and 3 made threes. Meanwhile, Marcus Smart was also huge, 15 points. LeBron James with 19 points, as the Lakers beat the Nuggets 115-107, as the Lakers improved to 26-16. Nuggets dipped to 29-15. So, how the Lakers can figure this out after they won 2 straight games? Couple of things they need to turn this thing around. First one, defense. Lakers defense was much better in the second half than it was in the first half. I mean, defense wasn't good when they were down. Defense was struggling before it was a 80-64 Nuggets lead. Since the Nuggets had an 80-64 lead, the Lakers defense turned the corner, and here's why: the rotation is much improved in every single possession. But we talk about defensive rotation is going to be key to be physical for the rest of the regular season and going to the playoffs. And importantly, they beat the Nuggets. They do so without Jokic. Jokic for the Nuggets. Nuggets still don't have Jokic right now. They don't have it just yet. He'll be back by end of this month. So hopefully we'll give him an update from this man right here. He's an all-star starter once again. So it's pretty more shocking to me for the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, what's the Lakers schedule look like after today? They go to Clippers. They have been hot lately. The Clippers have been red hot. So they're 1-1 this season against them. They go to Dallas on Saturday. Mavericks came off a huge win on Monday against the Knicks. And they got to go to Chicago on the road. And then they got to go to Cleveland and Washington and then New York and then Brooklyn. This is a heavy road trip for the Lakers. So Lakers have an 8-game road trip. So the last game of the 8-game road trip is February 3rd. The game will be in Brooklyn. Lakers will not be home until February 5th. It's against Philadelphia. And look at their schedule at home. Philadelphia. They're home for Philadelphia. Home for Golden State. Home for Oklahoma City. Home for San Antonio. Home for Dallas. And then All-Star break approaches. And then they'll start the second half of the season against the Clippers at home. And then the Celtics on February 22nd. And then the Magic. They have a long homestand themselves. And then Lakers will not play their first road game since February 3rd until February 26th. That game will be in Phoenix. So that's the schedule is going to be disadvantaged for Los Angeles. This is the schedule that is disadvantages the most. The strength of schedule is not going to Lakers' favor. However, they will survive from top six. They will survive from top six because Luka Doncic will be the leader for this team. And LeBron James will continue to score points. As for LeBron, no doubt he's a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I'm not asking all these questions about the all-star starter streak came to end, and there's a lot of questions going to be asked. Speaking of all-star starters, let's list it down what happened on Monday. I did not mention that yesterday. I'm sorry I didn't get to do that. All-star starters, who was so all-star starters, it's going to be different this year. It's going to be USA versus World. So for the Eastern Conference, they have Giannis. They have Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, Cade Cunningham, and Who else? And Jalen Brunson. That's the East starters. For the West, has Doncic, Curry, SGA, Jokic, and Wembanyama. So here we go. That's okay. So Team USA, Team World versus Team for Team World has Giannis. Team World has Giannis, SGA, Wembanyama, Jokic, and Doncic. That's Team World. Team USA has Curry, Maxey, Brunson, Cunningham, and Brown. So who has the advantage? USA or World? Honestly, it's gotta be World. They had so many all around players like Giannis, Jokic, SGA, Doncic, and Wembanyama. I think World is gonna. World, the odds are going will be favored by the Team World over Team USA. I think Team USA will be underdog in the NBA All-Star game, and here's why. Team World has a lot of size, including Victor Wembanyama, and then you got your best scorers like SGA, Luka, Jokic, and Giannis. So best preservers on Team World, it's probably Avia. It's got to be Avia. There's not a whole lot of guys, so I think Team World is going to have the advantage on February. So I believe it's on February 15th. That's when the NBA All-Star game occurs in Los Angeles. It doesn't pan out that much, but who was snubbed in the NBA All-Star this year? Anthony Edwards for the West. For the East, who was the biggest snub in the Eastern Conference as far as All-Star starters? Donovan Mitchell. He's having a hell of a year. Donovan Mitchell, honorable mention, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Johnson. For the West, honorable mention, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, indefinitely. He snapped a 21-season All-Star starter streak. Let's talk about that right now. So the question was, yes, LeBron James snapped a NBA record 21 consecutive All-Star starts streak. Yes, large part is younger players and some developed consistency. That's the issue. Why LeBron? LeBron has been injured for quite some time. Can LeBron still be an All-Star as a reserver? I'm not. I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to make an All-Star this year. He missed a lot of time. He had some injuries early on in the season. LeBron is not going to be an All-Star this year. But he will go out. He will be at the game, support these guys. I see how they play. So LeBron will support. And also, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. I think NBA has done a fantastic job to format themselves here together. Team USA versus Team World. I couldn't ask for a better better one here. All right, so we're gonna take a little bit of break here. Coming up, we'll talk more NFL. We'll preview the both AFC and NFC championship game. We're also gonna talk about. We will update the head coaching cycle. It's also coming up, and what's next for the Buffalo Bills after Sean McDermott got fired. We'll find out in 3 minutes.
It's extremely difficult. I feel like I let my teammates down tonight. Just missed opportunities throughout the game. It's been a long season. I hate how it ended. And it's going to stick with me for a long time.
All right, so the Buffalo Bills ended their season with a 33-30 loss last Saturday. So the question was, what's next for Josh Allen after Sean McDermott was fired this past Monday? There's a lot of things. What's next for Josh Allen? I mean, Josh Allen has done everything to get to the Super Bowl, but they haven't reached that goal yet. So the only problem right now, they need a new head coach. They need a new voice for this football team. They definitely need a new voice. Like, could be Joe Brady, Brian Daboll. There's plenty of time to get the new Bills head coach. But for the Buffalo Bills, what they have to do this offseason, yes, they need to add more pass rush. They're still good. They're great. They were great against the pass, but they're not. They were terrible against the run. They were absolutely terrible against the run. That's how the Bills got to the second round exit. The run defense was terrible all season long. I mean, I cannot explain what happened. I mean, there's a lot going on in Buffalo. The fans are going through it. Now the Bills are heading to new Highmark Stadium. The Bills will play a new stadium in 2026, 27 season, and beyond that. So I know Bills are looking forward to that. They can host a home playoff game and they can get to the Super Bowl. And then hopefully they can host a Super Bowl in the near future in new Highmark Stadium. Hopefully they would love to facilitate this. But for Sean McDermott being fired this past Monday, we talk about expectations versus reality. The expectations were this season, our goal is get to the Super Bowl and win the championship. And the reality is losing the AFC divisional round to the Denver Broncos in a controversial fashion. I mean, Bills should have been in an AFC championship game this week. They should have played the Patriots in New England. They should have played. And instead, it's Patriots at Broncos this week. We'll talk about that a little bit later, including Rams and Seahawks in the NFC championship game. But the Buffalo Bills, they decided to let go of Sean McDermott. They couldn't. I'm surprised they fired Sean McDermott. They should have kept McDermott for next year. It would have been his. It would have been his 10th season as head coach if he had not fired. If it wasn't for his firing of Sean McDermott. But they decided to move on from him. and find a new leader for this team for 2026-27 season. So are the Bills going to go downhill next year? Probably not. They will not go downhill. Hopefully they will not go downhill. I mean, with all the coaches before McDermott's tenure, the record's not that great. When McDermott came here, there was a lot of success in the regular season, but he has not had a lot of success in the playoffs over the years. And I just been talking about that yesterday. Success in the regular season, no success in the playoffs. It's going to prove your job costly. I mean, I think the Bills just need, like I said, they need a new leader. They need a new voice so they can generate more cohesiveness. And they got to show a pretty good attitude to stand for. So that's how the narrative works. Because you proved your own differences. They said you done a lot of things well for you guys, and it's something you have to tell me that you think Buffalo has a chance to be a contender, chance to be a Super Bowl contender or Super Bowl juggernaut team. That it would have helped its own cause. But the Buffalo Bills, there's a lot of things they need to get it done this offseason. They need a player who's more disciplined. They need a safety or a cornerback to who's a pretty good disciplined player on that side of the ball. Bills need wide receiver production. Bills need a wide receiver production. So far, they have not get any consistency from the wide receiver position. That's shocking to me. All they have is Khalil Shakir. He's been consistent. They would just rely on their tight ends like Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. But all they have is Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel. But the consistency for the Buffalo Bills wide receiver position just has not been there. And if your offense is taking a step back, if you don't have a wide receiver production, this is Josh Allen's completion numbers may be dipped. So they need help on this end. They need some help this offseason. They need a wide receiver. They need a pass rush, and they need a close. They need a secondary who needs to step up. So there's a lot going on in Buffalo. They need something. They need some help in the areas in the postseason. So another playoff heartbreak for the Buffalo Bills. They need some help right now. They need some support to get to if you want to act like championship level. They need a coach. That's what we need right now. So hopefully it would be the case right now. Speaking of coaching changes, let's stick with the head coaching. We have Kevin Stefanski with the Falcons, John Harbaugh with the New York Giants, Jeff Hafley from the Miami Dolphins, and then Robert Saleh of the Tennessee Titans. So 6 more head coaching cycles remaining. So 6 coaches, they haven't been filled. Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Raiders, Arizona, Cleveland, and then shoot, who is the sixth team? They need a head coach. In Baltimore, 6 teams, they need to be filled as head coach. They need 6 teams to. They need 6 teams to get a new head coach in 2026. So the head coaching cycles. Which 6 teams? Who will be the 6 teams who become the next head coach? Steelers, I say Brian Flores. Raiders, I'm gonna go Sean McDermott. Browns, I'm gonna go with Jesse Minter. Cardinals, I'm gonna go with Brian Daboll of the Cardinals. The Buffalo Bills, Joe Brady, promotion. Baltimore Ravens, Baltimore Ravens. I gotta go with Clint Kubiak. So there's a lot to sort out. And then the Raiders are gonna have some decisions to make as well. If Raiders can have somebody, then we'll find out who'll be the next head coach. The Raiders would love to see Sean McDermott as Raiders head coach. He's got experience. They need help on that other end. The question is, they need to draft Fernando Mendoza. That's the key. So the head coaching cycle, the coaching saga continues in the NFL. But I'm not just talking about head coaching cycles. How about QB cycles? Quarterback cycles in 2026. Lamar Jackson will move on. Anthony Richardson will move on. What else is a quarterback cycles that they need to move on from their teams? Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa. We could see some quarterbacks moving puzzles this offseason. That really quantifies. We talked about Mike McDaniel is heading to the Chargers as an offensive coordinator. So he won't get a head coaching job, but he will be in the coaching staff of the Chargers as an offensive coordinator. So, but Chargers need an offensive line coach. So the head coaching cycles right now is chaotic because there's a lot of there's a lot of teams who can fill their spots, and who's definitive enough to be a good coach, or coaches who deserve a second chance. It would have been enough. All right, so coming up, we'll preview the both conference championship games. And also coming up, we're still going to stick with the NFL. Out here. I don't know we'll talk Cowboys. We'll talk Dallas Cowboys. How's this going to shape out in 2026 offseason? And then the list goes on and on. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Not good news. On the second to last play in overtime, Bo fractured a bone in his right ankle. He's scheduled to have surgery Tuesday of this week, which will put him out for the rest of the season. Stidham's ready to go. And it was the second to last play before he threw the pass to Mims. Birmingham is where he'll have the surgery with Dr. Waltrip, and I don't really think there's any other questions. In other words, this is just.
Well, as the Patriots will play the Broncos in the AFC Championship game this Sunday, so how disappointing that Bo Nix isn't going to play this, not just this Sunday, for the rest of this postseason. I'm shocked that Bo is going to have a season-ending surgery. I mean, it's really disappointing. But the question is, can Jarrett Stidham stepping up to carry to the Super Bowl? I think he'll step up this Sunday, but I don't know if they're going to win this game. And here's why. We know both defenses tops in the league, top 5 in the NFL. So Drake May hasn't been great in the postseason, but can Jarrett Stidham make the Patriots defense pay this Sunday? I think he could, but I don't know how long Stidham is going to sustain that in the AFC Championship game. But I do like the fact that Denver, this team, has focused on that. But I know this will be his 5th NFL start. This will be his first NFL postseason start for Jarrett Stidham. But I wish what I expected to see from Sean Payton. They need Jarrett Stidham to be a game manager. They need to start committing to run. If they do just that, you give yourself a better opportunity. You just need to take care of the football. That's what you need to do. Take care of the football. If you take care of the football, you put yourself in a position to win a football game. You put yourself in a better position to win a football game. That's all you got to do. If you're Jarrett Stidham, be a game manager. Don't throw 50 times a day. You expect to be their own difference. But if it doesn't turn out this much, then the New England Patriots will be that. New England Patriots are one of the biggest stories in the NFL. The Patriots went 2, 4, and 13 seasons. Let me rephrase this. The Patriots went back-to-back 4 and 13 seasons. They only combined 8 wins over the last 2 years. But this season, they won 14 games. So that is twice as more over the last 3-4 years. But the Patriots, it has been a magical season so far. Well, Patriots have their Broncos numbers all time. But the Broncos had success in the playoffs against the Patriots over the last few playoff games, including, the Broncos have success in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. They beat them in 2013-14 and 15-16. Peyton Manning was there too, on both ends, against Tom Brady. Those are legendary matchups. But this postseason is not a legendary matchup, but it's battle young. It would have been a battle 10. It could have been 10 versus 10, May versus Knicks. Now it's May versus Stidham, and Jarrett Stidham will face his former team. This is a revenge game for him. I know I'm happy for Jarrett Stidham. He gets the opportunity to start to face his former team. I mean, it's really good. It's good. It's good to see Jarrett Stidham to be in the championship game as a starter. It's a good sign for the league. Let's see what Denver Broncos is all about. So I think what's going to happen, though, the confidence level is going to go in a Patriots way. So it seems to me that there's a lot of Denver Broncos stuff and a lot of New England Patriots stuff. Mike Vrabel could really make this team happen. They could make this football team happen. They try to put yourself in a championship level that you're asking for it. But it seemed to be great. The two great teams so far this year, 2 14-3 teams are squaring off. We had 3 14-3 teams left coming into this week. We have Patriots, Broncos, and Seahawks. They're all in the conference championship game this week. And all four teams have won. All 4 teams has 12 wins or more. I believe it has happened in the history of the NFL. We have 4 teams have went to the conference championship game, have won 12 games or more. That's a pretty good fact. 4 teams who finished 12 wins or more. That's impressive. That is pretty damn impressive. All right, so what's coming up next on a talk show? We'll preview the NFC Championship game. We'll talk the Dallas Cowboys. How's it going to shape out this offseason? We'll step away in 3 to 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. Here, the Dallas Cowboys finishing the season 7-9-1. The Dallas Cowboys just trying to figure things out, including the Cowboys need a new defensive coordinator. So the NFC East continues to shape up. We already have a head coaching cycle in the NFC East completed. So it goes like this. Nick Sirianni will remain as Eagles head coach. Dan Quinn will remain as Commanders head coach. Brian Schottenheimer will return his second season as Cowboys head coach. And John Harbaugh will be his first season as the New York Giants head coach. So, now what's in shape for the Dallas Cowboys for 2026 offseason? What are a lot of things they need to collect themselves? Well, for the Dallas Cowboys, I think they need someone who can really add to the mix, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The defense has been somewhat disappointing in the last couple of years. I mean, this isn't a surprise because the defense has been really, really bad in the last couple of years. But the way it turns out for Dallas, maybe the Cowboys don't have enough firepower to go to the Super Bowl. They have not been to the NFC Championship game for about close to 3 decades, or at least 3 decades, something like that. Okay, so what was the last time? Okay, when was the last time the Cowboys went to the NFC Championship game. It was 1996. So, 96, 06. That'd be 10 years. 16. That's 20. Yeah. The Cowboys have not been to the national championship game for about over the last 30 years. It's been 30 years since they went to the NFC championship game for Dallas. They just have not searching a lot of consistency what they have. They just don't have that right now, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, looking for the Cowboys defense, the defense has been inconsistent. So look at this. Defense, DVOA, which is around 30th in the NFL. Too many points, too many yards on the ground, too many yards through the air. Just, there's a lot of weaknesses, and they're not generating any pass rush. And this Cowboys team this Cowboys defense showing no production in any defensive position. That's a shocking one, because it felt like Dallas has so many opportunities. The Cowboys are clearly not a Super Bowl juggernaut team, because of the defense has been poor. I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around. There's a bunch of blame to go around. Losing Eberflus. Matt Eberflus wasn't much of a help on the defensive side as a defensive coordinator. He wasn't much of a help. And then he got fired after lasting 1 year. Just no connection for the Cowboys defense this season. It's been brutal all year long. But they need to add more players on defense. On the offensive side, they're gonna play well, but I got a lot of questions on defense. They just don't have that right now. The consistency and efficiency they just need create more. They just need more creativity. So I believe their defense is getting old, by the way. I mean, this offense is good, but the defense has been lifeless. The defense has been lifeless. That's what they're giving teams issues. They just couldn't come through in certain spots. Let's say the fourth quarter. Let's say you need to close it out and play great. You need to play good defense. We have not seen that this season. We have not seen any of these good defenses, especially in the fourth quarter, all season long. It's been flat out disappointing. It's been flat out disappointing. quite the opposite. There's a bunch of difference makers that you're gonna ask for it. And as for Dallas right now, they just need to work on to be elite. They need to work on to be elite level defenders. They need elite level defenders. So you can absolutely prove yourself to be a champion. So I mean, it's not going to be easy. We talk about the Dallas Cowboys. You felt like there's teams, there's blame to go around. There's a lot of blame to go around because of it. There's a bunch of blame to go around. So I'm not sure if he accepted, but this team would not be denied. But you said like look at and what's going to affect the rest of the NFC East, like Philadelphia. How's Philadelphia going to respond this offseason? Will they lose players like they did last year, or including A.J. Brown? Can Saquon Barkley resurge their team next season? There's a lot of, the Cowboys have a bunch of problems to work with this offseason. And how they're going to solve their problem, it's got to be the defensive side of the ball. We've been talking about this throughout this show. Can the Cowboys get through this? The Cowboys have struggled with acquisitions over the last 2 years. How the Cowboys are struggling with acquisitions over the last few years. The firepower is going to be lacking on either side of the ball. Losing Michael Parsons. So Cowboys also lead the league in player departures to other teams or retirement. So the issue is the Cowboys have lost more players than acquire some. It's this team is cancer. This team suffered a cancer. This is a cancer football. The Cowboys are in a cancer mode right now. They're clearly in a cancer mode because this franchise, this city, this community, and Jerry Jones, it just has not been worked. It hasn't worked out as well as planned. And you think about what's next for the Dallas Cowboys and all that stuff you've been talking about. All you gotta do is talk trash, get into a on-field scuffle or off-the-field scuffle, arguing on the sideline, kicking everybody else's ass. It's a problem. That is a problem right now. because you're not doing a damn thing. Your ass ain't doing a damn thing. All you gotta do is, if you win, you put yourself in a better position. If you don't win, if you can't get a stop, they're gonna sit in on your ass. The Cowboys defense has been sitting on your ass all season long. And nobody had a damn clue. With all this stuff going on, you give up way too many damn explosive plays. In fact, your ass has been struggling with penalties, some crucial defensive mistakes. You give up wide open looks in the passing game. You give a wide open run. You give up too many wide open runs, rushing runs to the opponent. That is not who the Cowboys were in 2025-26 season. I know they had 7 wins. They just don't have enough firepower to win more games or get into the postseason. They just don't have it. The defense don't have consistency. But the offense will play well, but the defense has got to be better if they can get to this one. So the Dallas Cowboys, they're probably going to dominate the headlines this offseason. Where they're going to go from here. And there's a lot going on right now in the Big D. They need help on the defensive side of the ball. The offense will play well. They had so many great talents. It's including the quarterback Dak Prescott. He will be MVP someday. Defensively, they need a whole lot of support to get back to the playoffs. They missed the playoffs over the last 2 years. They need Dallas. If Dallas wants to win the division, the defense has to step up. Jake Ferguson is a great tight end. He's having a solid year, career high, career best season for him. So it's a good sign for Jake Ferguson to get him involved. And then you got CeeDee Lamb getting paid. Try to convert this goal, get to the Super Bowl. All right, so enough of all that. What's coming up next on a talk show? We'll still preview the NFC Championship game. We're also going to revisit. We're going to revisit the NBA. Which game has it tonight? So it's all coming up next. X will be back in 3 minutes.
This announcement, this place will go ballistic.
I mean, for what's at stake, is this the craziest two-point conversion
Ever to tie a game of this magnitude in the fourth quarter with 6:20 to go. So Brad Allen is the man of the moment right now. It tells us.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback threw a backward pass, which was recovered in the end zone by the offense in successful conversion.
That is Warner in motion. Darnold throws. Caught for the 2 points. Eric Sauber.
So, it is Seahawks and Rams in the NFC Championship game. David versus Goliath. So the first matchup was November in LA. The Rams beat the Seahawks 21-19. Then the second matchup, Seahawks beat the Rams in overtime 38-37. Seahawks convert two-point conversions. One of them have been the craziest two-point conversion in NFL history. And that's how the Seahawks beat the Rams back on December 18th, 2025. That was the last time they played each other. But will it be close 3 times the charm? Yes, it will. It will be close. But I can't pick this game yet. So what Rams have to we talk about Matthew Stafford versus Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has struggled against the Rams this season as far as interceptions, but Sam Darnold has thrown 6 interceptions in the regular season against the Rams. So there's a lot of things he can clean up. But I tell you what, Matthew Stafford is playing like an MVP level. He's got a chance to do that in about a couple more weeks. But there's a lot you can learn from. There's a lot of things you can learn from. And with that being said, there's a lot of things he can really work with. The Los Angeles Rams has everything to go with it. And then you got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and then you got Kobe Parkinson for the Rams. On the Seahawks side, you got Jackson Smith-Njigba, and then you got Kenneth Walker, Sam Darnold. And the defense has been great. Their defense has been great all year long. Now they're a step closer to get to the Super Bowl. They're just a step closer to get to the Super Bowl. That wouldn't have been the case for them in this winter. So this game is going to be exciting. It's going to be rocking and all that stuff. You put that. Rams and Seahawks have played so many one-score games since Rams returned to LA in 2016. They play a lot of competitive football games. Seattle and LA, they played a lot of competitive football games since the Rams rejoined back to LA in 2016. I mean, this is intense rivalry. They expect to be extracurricular activity. They expect to be a lot of pushing and shoving before the game. I mean, and throughout the game too. So there's going to be a lot going on during the game as well. So this should be an exciting matchup. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see how it pans out there. But as for the Seattle Seahawks, how the Seahawks can get to the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold needs to take care of the football. Like I said, he has thrown 6 interceptions this season against the Rams in 2 games. He threw 4 in the first matchup on the middle of November of the 2025-26 regular season. Then he threw 2 more on December 18th. So I expect Sam Darnold to be better if they want to get to the Super Bowl. Hopefully he'll get one as soon as possible. This will be his second career Super Bowl appearance for Sam Darnold. He got one a couple years ago with the 49ers as a backup. So now he's looking to win his first title for the first time in his career. It would be a heartwarming moment for Sam Darnold if he wins his first title. So there's a lot to go around with it in this winter. All right, coming up, we're still going to talk. We're going to revisit the NBA, and then we'll wrap this up. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, breaking news from Major League Baseball: Carlos Beltran and Andruw Jones and Jeff Kent, all members of the 2026 National Baseball Hall of Fame. So I want to say congratulations, both Beltran and Jones, to become the National Baseball Hall of Fame. It was well deserved. Andruw Jones actually deserves this because he's put up a outstanding career. I mean, he's played so many. He's had so many moments. Including some big home runs. One of the biggest home runs of his careers. Carlos Beltran could be one of his best games of his career, including home runs. And Jeff Kent, also now a Hall of Famer. So congratulations to all these three to become the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2026. This is a good day for all of you guys, and hopefully the future is done. The present Hall of Famer is here. All right, so let's get to the NBA. Let's start with the Eastern Conference standings as of today, as of January 21st. So here we go. So the number 1 seed is Detroit Pistons with a 31-10 record. Number 2 is 26-16 Celtics. Number 3 is the New York Knicks, 25-18. Number 4, Raptors, 26-19. Number 5 is 76ers, 23-19. Magic, 23-19 as well, which is number 6. 76ers has a tiebreaker over Orlando. So that's the top 6. The play-in picture, number 7 is the Cavaliers, 24-20. Number 8 is the Heat, 23-21. Number 9, the Bulls, 21-22. The Hawks, 20-25. Those are the playoff or play-in picture for the Eastern Conference. Had this ended today, it goes like this. It would be Heat versus the Cavs, racing for the 7th seed. The winner will be the 7th seed. Hawks versus the Bulls, racing for the 8th seed. The winner will face the loser of that bracket. And the Magic will have to play the Knicks in the first round. The 76ers will play the Raptors. Celtics and Pistons will have their byes. The winner, let's say if either Cleveland wins or Miami wins, they'll face the Celtics. Let's say if the loser brackets, let's say either the Hawks, Bulls, Heat or Cavs otherwise wins, then they'll face the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. As for the West, Thunder has the best record in basketball. It's been that way since the beginning of the season. Number 1 is the Thunder, 36-8. Number 2 is the San Antonio Spurs, 30-14. Number 3 is the Denver Nuggets, 29-15. Number 4 seed is the Rockets, 26-15. Number 5 seed is the Lakers, 26-16. Number 6 is the Suns, 27-17. Timberwolves, same record. That's the top 6. And they had a tiebreaker with Minnesota based on head-to-head record. Play-in picture, the Timberwolves are 27-17. Warriors are 25-50. Blazers are 22-22. 9th seed. 10th seed is the Clippers, 19-24. Those are the play-in picture for these 4 teams. The top 6 of the West are in the playoffs. So in the playoff side, if the season had ended, Suns will battle the Nuggets. Oh, that's going to be spicy. Then Lakers will play the Rockets. It's going to be a 7-game series as well. Spurs and Thunder will have their byes. So Warriors will battle the Timberwolves. The winner of that game will face the Spurs. And then the Clippers and Blazers, then the winner of the game will face the loser of the bracket. Then if either Minnesota, Golden State, Portland, or Clippers win and earn an 8th seed, then they'll have to face the Thunder in the playoffs. But teams are still in the mix to be in the playoffs or play in. Grizzlies are still in it. Dallas, how about Dallas? They're still in this, despite the injuries, but they're still in the mix for the final play-in opportunity. They're still in this. In the hunt for the play-in spot, Milwaukee and Charlotte. That was about it. So, which outside chance by each conference will likely be in the playoffs? I say Portland Trailblazers. The Blazers will be in the playoffs. I think that puts Golden State out of the playoffs, because if Portland makes a pretty good move at the deadline, then the Blazers they need some good wins down the stretch. The reason why the Blazers are right there, this team has shown a bunch of cohesiveness. Their energy has been better year by year, and game by game as well. Blazers have wins against the Warriors, Thunder, Denver Nuggets, Houston Rockets twice. I mean, those are best wins so far this year for the Blazers. They can get into the playoffs. As for the Eastern Conference, best outside chance is the Chicago Bulls. I think the cohesiveness is still there. So if Chicago Bulls gonna be in the playoffs, they can beat anyone. They can beat anyone in the Eastern Conference. So you think about Chicago Bulls, you can play your own differences, and you can ask a whole lot of questions. You can really set that in this one here. So there's a lot of things to go around, but it's gonna be a different story. But it tells a lot. It really tells a lot of stories because of that. And this is what the difference. You're gonna ask for it, so it should be. It should be a whole lot of fun, but there's nothing you really expect this, and the outside chance is really hard to come by in the NBA. It seemed to be that one there. So we'll find out in about the next few days. Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up. So what's coming up next tomorrow? We'll recap some NBA, and then we'll talk more NFL, preview of the championship game, all that stuff. What did I say today? On this topics today, we talk about Luka Doncic and the Mavericks complete a 16-point comeback and defeated the Nuggets yesterday. We also talked about the conference updates on the NBA. We previewed the Patriots and Broncos in the AFC Championship game. We previewed the Rams and Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. We talked about the Cowboys, what they need to do this offseason. We talked about what's next for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills after Sean McDermott got fired on Monday. So as of this moment, also we've been talking about Andruw Jones, Jeff Kent, and Beltran becoming the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the three of them. So it's excitement. So tomorrow, like I said, we'll talk NBA. We'll preview the conference championship games before we take the final look. Also, we're going to talk about. I think we're going to update the head coaching cycle. I'm not sure there's spots to be filled. We have not had breaking news or anything as of yet, so we'll find out the next 24 hours or so. At least 24 hours. All right, so that's going to do it This is JDB's Morning Cap. We'll see you tomorrow.